We apologize in advance, but we tried to record this in video, but it didn't work out. Enjoy!
Hi, everybody.
Hello. Do you remember us?
It's been a hot minute.
This is Toni Rose.
This is Alex.
And welcome to the We Apologize in Advance podcast.
Coming to you in video.
Hello.
It's
so creepy.
Okay, I will say we're going to be playing around with different spots to see like what makes sense, but like let's just talk about one thing. Mm-hmm. We've upgraded our setup. We have microphones. We have a proper little fancy machinery here to get good sound going.
I feel like J-Lo.
Like baby steps.
Yes.
So like this is step number 1. Step number 2 is now figuring out our recording space. We'll see how the editing turns out on this. Like, God bless me.
Thank you, Alex, for taking on that challenge. She offered. I didn't even ask.
No, you were the one who was like, are we filming the episode tomorrow? And I was like, okay.
Yeah. I know. I'm very excited. We're stepping our shit up. I mean, we've been doing this for almost 3 years, but only...
Has it been 3 years? Oh, wait, 2.5.
No, math. Yeah, 2.5.
2019 to 2020. No, it's only been a year and a half. No, that doesn't seem right.
2019, we started in October. So October 2020. Oh my God, yeah, what?
It seems like it's been so much longer.
I mean, if you look at our episode lists, there's only like 30 episodes.
I think it's like just COVID brain. Like it's just time exists in like a different place right now.
So true. If
that makes any sense at all.
I know, and I feel like it's fitting for us to apologize in the beginning of the episode. We have been distant. We have not been here.
Yeah.
Mentally or physically.
I want to apologize to you because you're the one that's been like, we need to get going on this, and I've just been so fucking busy and like with my head up my own ass. Like,
hey, you're making money moves. You're making money moves. You have big life changes to talk about today.
And that's what today's episode is about. It's just like catching everyone up on like where we at.
Just two gals talking about their life, you know?
Yeah.
We're entering a post-pandemic world, hopefully, knock on wood. We're both vaxxed.
I know, I'm going to like an event later today. It's going to be like the first one that you can have like a lot of people in a room and like you don't have to wear a mask. And I'm like, I'm double vaxxed.
Yeah, I'm double vaxxed as well.
Hells yeah.
Vax and wax.
Wait, let's quickly talk about that. Our experience is getting
You're just going to drift over my...
Wait, vaxxed and waxed.
Vaxxed and waxed. I'm ready
Good for
to go.
You. Vaxxed, waxed, relax. No.
Yes.
Is it that?
I love it.
Vaxxed, waxed, relax. I'll go with that.
Hell yeah. But yeah, let's talk about it.
Okay, so I'm on Pfizer, both of them, and you have Moderna for both of them.
For both of them.
Okay, can we talk about how much of a picky bitch I was the day that I was supposed to get my first vaccine?
Boiled my blood. We both of us like get it at the same place, the same day. I shouldn't have texted you. Okay, let me back up. It was May 26th, and we both were booked in. I was going in the morning. She and Steve were going in the afternoon. For some reason, it compelled me to text her and be like, I got mine done, like, woohoo. And she's like, oh, which one was it, Moderna or Pfizer? I was like, it was Moderna, but that's okay. Like, they're the same thing. And she goes, I'm going to rebook.
I don't know why. I honestly don't know why, because when it came to my second one, I just like didn't care. I literally couldn't tell you why. I think it's literally, I have this complex where like I have to fit in. And so like literally everyone else I knew was like getting Pfizer, and I was like, oh my God, that's not what
you told me. Wait, T, you said, oh my God.
Oh, and also supply.
Yeah,
supply.
I like called you out. I was like, I like was sending articles. I was like, it's the same thing. Like, oh my God, these vax shoppers. Like,
in the moment, I'll never admit to it. It's just after the fact. I'll be like, I just want to fit in. It's a social thing.
No, I knew it. So she was telling me, she's like, oh, supply. Like, I don't know about my second shot because it's like an 8-week.
Yeah, because they were saying that it was a longer wait potentially for Moderna than it was for Pfizer.
Funny. Fast forward 4 weeks, we have a low supplies on Pfizer. We have like oversupply of Moderna.
Well, so yeah. So then I literally waited a whole extra week just to get my first vax, but then I got Pfizer, and it was a magical day.
It all worked out because Moderna kicked my ass on the second shot. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
And Pfizer kicked my ass on the first one.
Oh, although interesting.
I can't 100% tell anymore if it was like a mixture of really bad allergies, but also I just felt sore and tired and cranky, but I'm also just like a little bitch when I'm sick. So.
Yeah. No, I am too. Like I don't like to admit it, but I complain. Like when I'm sick, like I am a baby. Like, the second shot, it was so funny. I was like, I'm going to be better than this. Like, I'm not going to get sick. And, like,
I'm going to be better than the vaccine.
So I get my vaccine at, like, 10 a.m. I drink a gallon of water that day. I have my vitamin C. I go to the gym, you know, working on my fitness. You're my witness, you know? Like, I was ready to go. And I was like, I'm going to go to bed early. I'm drinking green juice, whatever. And then I wake up at 5 a.m. and I'm like, I beat it. Like, I feel fine. Like, I woke up at 5 just to, like, go pee, and I'm like, wow, you know, thank God. I woke up at 8, and I felt like a bus has hit me right in the head. Like, I think it was, like, a combination of, like, not remembering what a flu felt like and being, like, really sick. Like, it was a head cold, but it was, like, my body was sore to the touch, and I, like, was foggy, and at noon, I gave up on work. I was like, I need to sleep. And I slept for 5 hours, and I felt good after.
I know, like, even on, like, a regular day, though, when you wake up really early and you're like, wow, I'm, like, wide awake, I feel great, you're like, but I'm just gonna go back to sleep, and then you feel like ass anyway. So I think you had that against you, too.
Yeah, totally. I should have, well, not like I'm gonna start my day at 5 a.m., but
yeah.
You know, it was rough. But you know what? Out the other side, I booked my first plane ticket, so did you.
Yeah.
So excited. I'm going to Toronto for a wedding.
I'm going to Montreal just for shits and gigs.
Love some shits and gigs trips.
Never been to Montreal before, so I'm excited. Because now we're staying in Canada. We're allowed.
Yeah.
This is, like, totally allowed within the restrictions of our country.
Everything we do is legal. Yeah.
Can we go to the States yet?
Okay, so yeah, this is exciting. We can go and we can come back and not quarantine. We just need to get, like, a negative.
I'm positive test.
We need to get a negative test going down and coming back.
Have you been seeing, like, all these, like, Karens tripping out, though, on, like, TikToks and stuff? Like, there was a woman that got kicked off of a cruise ship because she was unvaccinated, and you have to be vaccinated to go on a lot of cruises. And so she tested positive for COVID, and so she just went on this, like, it was like a 4 TikTok long, like, rant, just her fucking screaming at the top of her lungs. I'm just like, there's one rule to get all of this.
Yeah.
And actually, this is, like, kind of a sidebar. And, like, I'm not a big conspiracy theorist, but there was, like, a guy, like, literally just saw this yesterday on TikTok. I don't have his handle, unfortunately. But he was basically saying that, like, they think that other countries are now going to start, like, weaponizing, like, diseases because now they know that there's such a huge population that don't believe in getting vaccinated that, like, they're like, well, they're going to be stupid enough to, like, not take an antidote or, like, whatever they need to take in order to protect themselves, and then they're just going to fucking die.
Oh my God.
It's kind of heavy to think about. Like, it is scary that like all of these, like, potential groups see what a pandemic has done to the world and now they can, like, use it to their advantage. I'm like, that's actually, like, petrifying.
But yeah, that's scary.
But I would really hope that everyone has now learned their lessons. So if some shit like that happens, then they'll, like, stay home. I think the thing though is, like, if it was something like what was it called? SARS, I mean, that, like, I think just with COVID, because it takes up to 14 days, that's what really, like, messed everything up. But, like, with previous outbreaks like SARS, I think that only comes within a couple of days, so it's, like, so much easier
to track and
to, like, get people to comply with, like, a 2 or 3 day quarantine versus a 14 day.
It's rough. 14 days rough. Like, we can all agree it sucks, but we can all agree that it's necessary, you know?
100%.
Yeah. I mean, maybe not all of us, but we apologize in advance. We understand that it's necessary.
Yeah, I can't believe, where did we even start with this, like, random tangent? Probably me. I've gone on, like, 3 different branches throughout this conversation.
It was one huge apology saying that we were not here, but now we're back.
And okay, so should we do our segment? We're going to start introducing a new segment every once in a while, and it's going to be called Things I Learned from TikTok.
Yes.
Because there's so many things coming out of it. Like, we as adults, like, I'm 29, you're 28, right?
In a couple months. I'm 27 now.
Okay. So it's things that, like, we should have just, like, known at the age that we are, but they're just kind of, like, obvious stuff. Well, actually, the thing that I'm talking about is, like, not obvious. I just think it's very interesting.
Love to hear.
Okay, so mine is... It started as one of those, like, you know how a lot of trends on TikTok are like, tell me a conspiracy theory that you think is true, and then, like, someone just stitches it. So that's exactly what mine was. It's like, tell me about a conspiracy theory that you think is true. And I'm, like, all about listening to people's opinions on this.
Me too.
And this one, I was just like, I've literally never heard this, and it's so ridiculous.
Is it the Titanic one?
No.
Okay.
Have you heard of botanical sexism?
Like plants?
Yeah.
Being sexist.
Okay,
toward
so
plants? No, I haven't heard of
the
it.
conspiracy theory that this woman says, and let me say her handle. It's like a long ass handle. It's like Jama Lene Huff 0. Just had to give her credit for it.
Hey girl.
Basically, what she's saying is city planners, when they are planting plants, like wherever, that they are in more favor of planting male plants because female plants are the ones that kind of make a mess. Like they're also the ones. No, wait.
Checks out.
I'm already messing this up. I should have made more notes on this. I should have prepared.
But that's on brand for us.
The male ones do not. No, the male ones do make more of a mess, but they refuse to plant female ones because female plants are the ones that give us like fruits and stuff. So they're saying that city planners are sexist and they will plant plants that make more of a mess because they don't want people to have access to fresh fruit because then they won't go buy it from the store.
Juicy.
And I was talking to Steve about this and I was like, I don't know, like, what do you think? Because like if they, let's say this wasn't a thing and they were just like planting whatever, I'm like, I still don't think I would go to the effort to go into the forest and like pick apples. Like I have so many other better things to do.
No, I have access to a lot of blackberry bushes and I go once in a while, but I'm going to the store.
like it's
like a fun pick when you're like bike riding, like, ooh,
it's fun once
stop
in
on
a
the
while.
side. Yeah.
Well, sidebar story actually, Steve's grandpa like went for a drive to go get sand. They have a whole garden in the back and he found wild asparagus growing in the middle of Kamloops, BC. And I was like,
that's cool.
And I was like, you know what? I don't blame him. Asparagus is like $7 a pound. It's really fucking expensive.
And I eat that every second day. I'm not lying. Like asparagus is my number one fave veggie.
I'm telling you, move to the suburbs. $3 a pound here.
You know, I'll pay for my $7 bundle to stay in the city. Thank you so much, though. What a great offer.
So, what is your TikTok?
Okay, mine's like dumber, but okay, that's not even a word. Yeah, dumber, whatever. Okay, it's about straining your pasta.
Okay.
Buckle up. Okay, have you seen the TikTok? And I do apologize. I don't have the user handle, but if I find it, like, I'll post on socials, both of those videos that we're talking about. But instead of, okay, you know, when you're, like, straining your pasta, you put the strainer in the sink, and then you pour your water in. Sometimes, like, you burn your hand. It splatters everywhere. Yeah, okay, stop doing that. You put the strainer in the pot of pasta.
And then you
hold it together, and you flip it, and the pasta stays because the strainer is keeping it in the bowl, and the water just goes down. Isn't that exciting?
That is really smart, but I feel like it's not conducive to all pans.
Very true, and I have yet to test it, but I'm like, I saw it, I'm like, this is very exciting, because like, you take it out, and then you strain the pasta, and you like jiggle it to make all the water go out, and you put it back in the pot, and then you do the sauce. Here, you can just like, all in one.
No, I think that's really smart.
I know, maybe I'll test it. I'll film myself testing it.
Yeah, I think it totally works. It just really depends on the type of pan. Because if I'm thinking of myself making craft dinner, because that's like the closest thing I make to pasta,
Sweet.
Then I use a pan that's just like a one handle, like not a double handle. And I feel like you need a double handle to do that.
I'm seeing what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, invest in double handles. What are you doing?
I do have double handles, but I just prefer the one handle. Why do people need so many pots? I have like 6 pots and I use like 1 out of all of them.
Okay, oh my god, I had this conversation with myself the other day actually because my aunt and uncle gifted me like a pot set when I moved in to my old apartment, and it was like amazing. It was like 3 pots, one that was so tiny that like only could have like 1 little egg if you wanted to boil an egg, and then like 3 other sizes, 2 different pans and all that stuff, and I'm like, I only use 1 pan and 1 pot.
It's kind of overwhelming. Like this is like in my last apartment, it was like a trek to like get a pot from the back,
right.
But now I'm in like a better setup where I can actually access all of them, and now I'm just like, it looks so empty in there.
So exciting. I feel like that's the good transition because you have new places to hold your pots because
I'm living in a new place.
That's exciting. Congratulations.
We've talked about that I bought a place in the past. My memory is like pure garbage, but I think we talked about me buying a place, and
you're now in it.
I'm now in it. It's built. She ready. We've been here for 3 weeks, I think now. So we moved from the city to the suburbs. It's been a transition.
I bet. You're a city gal.
I am a city girl. I mean, I grew up out here, but I miss just being able to walk outside and like seeing people. It's so quiet all the time.
So quiet. I feel like you just need to like start having kids or something to entertain yourself. Oh, I hit it.
Not yet. Can't just yet because next transition we'll go back to my house. But I also got a new job.
Yeah, she left me. She left the city. She left the job. Like she just doesn't care about me anymore.
I'm going through a lot of shit. Okay.
I know, but good shit. This is exciting.
Good shit. And I mean, I'll just say that it's not that I was unhappy at my last job. I loved my last job. It's just a new opportunity came up that just presented itself, and it was conducive to my future plans. Like the main thing being that I can now work remotely indefinitely because the company is based in Toronto. So now, especially now living in the suburbs, not having to think about like commuting into the city is like saves so much money, but just, yeah.
I know, it was funny because that was back in February. You've been gone a long time now.
We bought it in October of 2020.
No, sorry, your job.
Oh yeah, like end of February.
Yeah, end of February. So we've had time, but it's still sad. It was really funny because, I mean, we are friends and everyone knew we're friends. And like Alex and I, we've talked about this a million times, but we are the annoying people in the office that like, we're just like obnoxious and we laugh and we just like, we're talking all nonstop. And so when you left, I got like flooded with how are you? Are you okay?
As
like
if I died or something.
Like, how are you okay without Alex? Like, you getting by? And I'm like, guys, I can be my own person. Like, I'm fine. Yeah. Wiping a tear away.
I mean, at least they care, which is nice. And like, honestly, that's like flattering.
Yeah, flattering for you. Sad for me to think that I can't live my life without another human being right next to me.
Well, like, the thing is like, no one ever like asked me how I was doing when like my friends left the company.
Oh,
like
yeah. Well, because you had other friends.
I guess. You have other friends too, which is why it's like weird.
That's actually true. I know, I feel like, I mean, we can't really go into it, but our company changed a lot. You left, you got a new job. I also got a new job. I stayed within the same company, but just a new title. So
it's very exciting. You got a promotion. Don't be shy. You got a promotion.
I got a promotion. So exciting. I'm very happy. It's like funny because I'm now like a people manager as well. And I'm like, I've never managed people.
A new level of stress you just didn't know existed.
A new unlock stress, which is insane because like I'm going gray. I'm only going gray because of stress in the last like year and a half.
But like, do you not like notice now that like, because you're not just like responsible for your stuff, you're like, where has my time gone? Because you're just working on stuff for your team all the time.
I have no time. I'm like, I usually don't work after hours a lot, but now I'm like in my bed doing work because I'm like, it's my only time that no one's gonna email me.
Yeah,
I know, it's funny, but I really like it. I'm really happy. It's very exciting.
Welcome to the jungle.
Yeah. Wow.
Honestly, funny enough, I don't manage a team. I have like a coordinator. I'm not going to call her an assistant, but it's like similar to those kind of duties.
Just in case she listens, you know.
Yeah,
you're valued.
Exactly. No, but like she's fantastic. But like she just like does her job. Like I don't really like manage her. So, and I share her with like someone else. So I'm just kind of like doing my own shit. It's very interesting. Like I was like, wow, I have so much time in the day to get shit done. Like I haven't been this productive.
That's so exciting. I know the funny thing about managing, because like I love gossip, you know, I'm the first one to like open my ears if someone wants to vent to me. But now when people vent, I'm like, oh, I got to do something about it. Like you're coming to me with a problem that I need to solve.
And there's just so many ones where like I was always so afraid like that I'm going to say the wrong thing. Like just HR wise, you're just like, I can't say anything right now. Like, let me get back to you. But you just want to give them an answer because you, like, as an employee in their situation, you're like, no, you're my manager. You're supposed to give me, like, an answer. So,
I know. It's such a weird, because, like, you want to be their friend, but now...
Yeah.
You can, but, like, you're still...
line.
Yeah, professional friendly.
Yeah.
I know, it's funny. It's my cross to bear. And I'm learning, you know, and growing.
But you're going to learn so much.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited. And it's funny because, like... We weren't going to travel this year during work, and now we are. Like, we're going to LA maybe here in October for, like, a convention, and I'm like, that's another level of stress to even think about getting on a plane. I mean, I know we're getting on a plane to go to, like, cross Canada, but we're, like, going to the States.
Going to the States, like, on your first trip after the pandemic with work going to the States is, like, more stressful than if you planned, like, your own trip to the States. Because you're just like, I didn't plan this. If something goes wrong, it's like... It's on work. I mean, it's kind of better that you're going with work for the first time if you think about it.
Yeah, very true. And like, so you work remotely now, which is nice. I actually loathe working from home. I am not the type of person. I am like, I would love to work from home like Monday, Friday, you know, like long weekend, work from my bed type of thing. But I live in a 500 square foot apartment, and working and eating and sleeping all in the same like literal room is crazy. I don't sleep in the same room, but
I think I only like it because Steve is now also working permanently remotely. Like the desks we are currently sitting at, this is my work desk.
Yes.
Toni Rose is at my husband's work desk. So it's like
Steve.
I think that's the key difference. Like if he was still going to like a full like job like outside of this, then I think it would be a lot harder because like I was not unhappy. I mean, everyone was struggling, like, working remotely. But once he started in, like, December 2020, then it was, like, so much better. I mean, we had, like, our ups and downs. He eats all fucking day. And it's so irritating. Like, you're eating all the food.
That is so funny.
Like, I swear our grocery bill went up.
Is it, like, snacking or is it, like, full meals?
in the beginning, it was just like, he just never had access to food because he worked at the bank. So like you couldn't just like get up and go eat. Like he had appointments all day. So he literally was like accidentally doing intermittent fasting and like wouldn't eat till like 1-2 o'clock in the morning. But just like the pure freedom to eat whenever his mind was like, you're hungry. He just like, he could eat like 6 bananas in a day. He would make like 2 or 3 sandwiches for lunch. And I'm just like, because before all I had to worry about was dinner for him.
That's true.
And
I mean, that is true with working remotely. I've noticed this in myself as well. I'm like, I'm more bored. Like, I'm an emotional eater. Like, if I'm bored, I'm going to eat. And working from home has been a struggle because I'm like, I'm literally, where my desk is, I'm staring at the fridge.
Yeah.
And, like, that's fucking rude. Like, no one should be able to stare at the fridge for 8 hours a day. No, I'm like, what's in there? You know, going to go over, get a little snack.
The one thing I really miss, though, about being in the city, because I think we've established this, like, I don't cook. Like, it's not a passion of mine. I'll do it once in a while, but, like, if, like, for how hard I consider myself to work, I'm like, there are just days where I'm like, I don't feel like cooking for an hour, and then cleaning up for 30 minutes, and then having maybe an hour to myself before going to bed, or, like, you know, it's like some days I want to, like, there's just, this lifetime is just fucking insane for women. Like, the fact that you have to, like, work a fucking full-time job and still do all the womanly duties is, like, kills me some days, but I can't order out as much anymore.
Oh, right. You've done this recently. You've tried.
Yeah.
Sometimes I break into song, you know, sorry.
Yours is still recording.
Yeah,
right?
it's still recording.
Okay,
hello.
Cool. My, like, something came. Anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't order out anymore just because I live in, like, it's not the boonies, like, it's still, like, a fairly big city center, but within my city, it's, like, we're in the middle of a forest, essentially, and, like, it's beautiful, it's picturesque, we got the little fence, it's not a white picket fence, but it's a gray picket fence.
Cute, though, I saw it.
It's super cute, but, yeah, like, just, like, there's not that many options out here. Delivery's, like, $5, whereas in the city, it's, like, 99 cents, and I ordered dinner the other night, and it was fucking traumatizing.
If you follow her on Instagram, she documented it, but I want to hear the full story, so please.
So Steve was out with his friends, and I was like, I'm hungry. We had nothing in the house. I've been going grocery shopping, but for some reason, like, I spend like $150 at a time on groceries, but I don't buy anything that's cohesive that goes together. Just odds and sods, nothing goes together.
Gotcha. So you don't meal plan, like prep. You don't prep for the grocery store.
No, I should. I normally do, but just like that whole like moving week and just things have just been awry. Like I haven't been set into my new routine yet, and so I was like, you know, I'm gonna order myself some dinner. I'm just gonna get Earl's. Like Earl's is a tried and true. You know what's up. So Uber Eats is like non-existent out here, so I have to use Skip the Dishes.
Oh God.
And so I look and it's like, oh, it's going to take like 45 to 60 minutes. And it's like, that's already like a really big wait time. Because even in the city, it's like 30 minutes, you got it because everything is just so close by. But I was like, you know what? For like being out here, I'll accept that. And then so once I placed the order, it's like, that'll be 75 minutes. And I was like, excuse me? I was like literally like floored. I was like, 75 minutes. That's a really... And I ordered at 9:15 at night. So, like, it's just all of this was hitting me all at once. So, just, like, 3 back-to-back punches. I was like,
worst decision ever.
Yeah, I was like, what is wrong with me? And at least on, like, Uber Eats, you can, like, immediately cancel before they confirm it. Skip the Dishes does not give you that option.
No, they're
so I was
kind of
like,
the worst.
I'm in it. I am in this. This is happening. So
What'd you order? Important question.
Really important question. I don't even know what the actual like thing is called, but it's like they have this like Cajun chicken with like coleslaw and these like new potatoes. It's absolutely fantastic. Highly recommend it.
You need to try.
So I was like, shit, I can't order it. I guess I'm in it. So then I'm waiting, and then that's when I decided to make my Instagram story. So I was like, this is dramatic. Like like anyone who knows me just knows how much I like eat out and like order in. So I was like, I feel like people will like be entertained by this.
It was good.
So then. Yeah, and then finally, like, the guy is on his way, and I'm like, hells yeah, Ali is on his way to come bring me food, and then I'm seeing his car, and it's going, like, past my complex, he's on a different road, and I was like, no. I was like, I've already been waiting, like, it was 75 minutes at that point, and then finally, there's no way for you to get in touch with them. Like, Skip the Dishes is, like, subpar to Uber Eats, not my favorite. So then... I'm like messaging their support and I'm like, I think he's lost. Is there any way like you can connect me with him so I can like explain to him how to get to me? And then he texts me and he's like, your address is wrong. And then I was like, no, it's not. Like, you're just not looking at it properly. And then I look and I put the address in wrong.
Oh no.
What happened is because now that it's like complex, and unit number. Because
Right.
I'm in a new build, so many websites do not recognize my address because in their system I do not exist yet. It only goes up to like my unit number is 162. It only goes up to 160 right now for some reason. It makes
God, that's
no
so
sense.
dumb.
So annoying. So I always have to put it in manually. So essentially on their app it changed it from my complex number to my unit number and then my street, which she's like, I don't see this, like it doesn't exist. And so I had to be like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, you're right, like I'll give you an extra tip, like here's my address. Like it was literally just like 2 blocks away.
Right.
So he came, he dropped it off, and so again at the door I was like, I'm so sorry, like I'll give you an extra tip in the app, so sorry. I go into the app, doesn't let me tip extra.
Oh no.
And like I said in my story on Uber Eats, they're always like, hey, like how'd your delivery? Do you want to tip more? And I was like, no, like usually I'm like, no.
Get fucked.
Yeah. But in this instance, I'm like, I want to give this guy an extra $5 like for wasting his time. Like I felt so bad. And so I even go into their support team. I'm like, can I give him an extra $5? And they're like, no, we don't do that. I'm like, okay, so I lied to this man twice in writing and
here's
to
your
his
number.
face. No,
And your
it's
house. He
not.
knows where you live.
Yeah, he knows where I live. He doesn't have my number because it's like they use those like weird systems, but yeah. And then after that I was like, I'm never ordering food again. Like that was so traumatizing. And then I ordered food the next day.
And did it work out okay?
Yeah, that one was way better because I
Thank
actually put
God.
the fucking address in correctly.
Oh my god, that's like, that just checks out. That sucks. I've done that when I've ordered food way too late and then it's like gonna be a really long time and I'm like, why did I do that? Like I could just go to bed or like I can just eat crackers. And,
I know.
You know, like
that's
I hate
exactly
that
what I said to
feeling.
myself. I was like, I could have just had like 2 pieces of toast and called it a night.
I know. Why are we like this?
Yeah. And after this whole like, so in the end it was like an hour and a half. Steve comes home from wherever he was and I'm like putting the food on my plate. I'm going to take it upstairs to bed and I'm going to watch Below Deck while I'm eating my dinner. Just like I've been waiting this whole time, just starving. And he's like, do you want to come sit next to me while you eat your dinner? And I'm just like, nope, I'm going upstairs to watch Below Deck because I'm starving and I need to just be sufficed with all this. So
That's so funny. Oh my god, Below Deck's great.
it is really good. It's so dramatized though, because I'm
so
like, you're literally
dramatized.
just hiring people that have like no experience
Yeah, I know.
actually working on a luxury boat.
It's so good. My reality TV binge right now is Love Island. Like I cannot get enough of Love Island UK. I watched like the first and second episode or season, sorry, when it came out like years ago, and then like I just like couldn't find it anymore on the interwebs, and now it's on Hey You. So
Ew.
so good. Sorry, back to moving.
Back to moving. Well, I don't know. Why don't we talk about your move and then we can jump back to mine.
Okay, great. I moved as well. In April, I decided to move. It literally happened within like 3 days in terms of like finding a new place. I think everyone knows I've had some visitors in the past that are mice. I have mice. And we had a mouse problem in that stupid building and my landlord did nothing for me, unfortunately. Like, great guy. But when it comes to like landlording...
He's very like DIY.
Do it yourself, figure it out.
Go fuck yourself and DIY.
Yeah, like, do it your fucking self, bitch. Like, it's not my problem. So, I messaged him. I am a pretty darn good tenant. Like, I never message when I have an issue until, like, it's a repeating issue. So, the 5th time that I saw a mouse, I'm gonna flag it, as anyone would do. And I said, hello, landlord, we have a mouse problem. I've seen one, like, now every couple of days. I'm really freaked out. Like, can we do something about this? He wrote back and said, they don't like the smell of peppermint. So try that. And I wrote back, I've tried that. Like, I've Googled everything, whatever. And he just never responded to me. So I said, okay, cool. Then I, bless my friend Zora, I think I've already said this, but she came over and, like, mouse-proofed this place. Like, we put that stuff in the holes and we put, like, mouse traps everywhere. And, like, I never saw one for, like, 5 months. And then one night, I, like, come out to my kitchen to get a glass of water, and one just, like, goes across the living room. I opened my laptop. I found an opening at this, like, random apartment building by English Bay, like, for 2 days from now. And then I, like, visited it, and I'm like, this is perfect. And then I, like, signed it, because I'm like, I am moving out. Thank God.
Yeah, I think you, like, deserved a space, because, like, very similar to what I talked about when I moved out of that building. It's like, your windows are covered. You just don't feel like it's, like, a home. You're like, I just need sunlight. I need to be like happy in my space, especially since like you're working from home all day.
Totally. And I think working from home made it worse because like I loved my last apartment, like don't get me wrong, but it was really dark and it had like brick and there wasn't a lot of lights. There was, I was tarped in, the same as Alex because of like construction. And then even when I wasn't tarped, I was looking at a workout studio. So it like wasn't like the best vibes with no balcony. And this new place is only 500 square feet, whereas my other place was like 620 or something. But I have a balcony, so it's nice to like.
And you have like mini ocean view.
Mini ocean view. I can see English Bay and I can see Sunset Beach from my apartment, which I love.
A cool little area too, because like that old area is like it's very like financial district, but like very like
it's like hoity-toity, like
it's like one of the more pricier areas of the neighborhood, which is why it was so weird that bbuilding was just right smack dab in the middle of it. Very affordable like rent for what it is. And I think there are so many personalities that would just like live in that apartment and be so happy with it.
1,000%.
But that's just not us. Like we're just like, we need sunlight, we like the glam stuff.
Yeah, like, I love new appliances.
We don't ask for a lot, but I think like sunlight is like a really reasonable thing to want in a place.
Because it was like not making me happy. But so this was my first ever move out of an apartment into a new apartment. Like the last time I moved into my first apartment, it was from my parents' house, so I could take my sweet ass time. Like moving day wasn't as important. I just had to get the big stuff in. But this place, I had to book my elevator to move out and then book my elevator to move in, and it was just like such a fiasco. Like I've never had to like move out and then clean the place for inspection within 24 hours. Like I have never been more tired. Like it was insane.
It's exhausting. Like when we moved out of that building, because of the timing wave, we didn't give like a full month's notice, so we had to pay like half a month's rent. So we had like a month to like clean it essentially, but like it took us like 3 or 4 times. But honestly, it's so much better if you get it done in one day, because like stretching it out is a pain in the ass.
Well, one turned into 2 because said landlord had some things to say, and he was actually really nice about it kind of in the beginning. Like, so he gave us a checklist, and I worked my ass off, like literally clean 12 hours. I timed myself 12 hours. I cleaned this place like after moving into my other place, and I scrubbed, like washed the blinds, like I did everything he asked for. And then I was like, okay, ready for inspection, like I'd love to get this over with. And he was like, oh, I can't do it till tomorrow. I was like, oh, well, why don't you come in and do like a soft walkthrough and just like tell me if I'm in the right idea. He's like, oh, that would actually make me feel better. I'm like, perfect, come on up. He comes up and he points out like good, like 3 things. Like 1, there was a light bulb out that I didn't even notice, and like 2 other things about just like making sure that the blinds were clean. And I'm like, totally doable. And so I spend like a couple more hours just like making sure everything's good. And then he was like, hey, come in, I'm doing the inspection, you can come in and we'll sign the papers. And I come in and he like, I'm walking in and he slams a Nutri-Grain bar down on the table. And he said, what's this? And I looked so confused because, like, honest to God, I've never eaten I've never bought Nutri-Grain. I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I never noticed. He's like, it was in the back of the cabinet. Did you not clean the cabinet? And I'm like, I am so sorry. Like, I cleaned it so hard. I guess I didn't reach all the way back to it was like a really deep cabinet. Like, my apologies. Like, I know you won't believe this, but like, I don't even eat Nutri-Grain. Like, it was just like so insane. And then he like opened a drawer, and in the corner there was like a crumb. And he's like, you didn't even wipe out the thing. And I'm like, so I pick my hand up and I pick the crumb up and I put it in my pocket. And I'm like, I'm really sorry. And he's like, I'll just have to redo all of this. And I said, okay, like, we good to go then? Like, I don't have
Let me just get the fuck out of
here.
I
was just like, and then so I signed my papers, like I gave my key thing and whatever. And I got in my car and like screamed of happiness. And like, this just proved the point that I needed to get the fuck out.
Oh, it's like, it's so night and day, because he was like so nice to us when we left.
So nice to me when I moved in. And like,
I feel like he's weird to people that like live by themselves for some reason.
And I like, it didn't help that when he was like, I'm looking for someone to take over for like to live like here for years. But in my defense, I didn't know you were going to tarp me up and put me in the darkness for 12 months. Like, it was not my fault. So I'm happy I'm out, but it was rough.
No, I totally feel you. I mean, for us, we moved on the hottest day in the history of our fucking city.
We just went through a heat wave.
It was unbearable. It's not like I've never been in that heat before, but you're like in Mexico, where there's vacation. A giant pool available for you to just fucking jump into at any moment that you're uncomfortable, and you're also just hanging out a bathing suit all day. But oh my god, like same thing with like the elevator like bookings. I fucking hate that.
They're the worst.
We were supposed to move on a Saturday. Like we got possession on a Friday. We took a week off from work, but obviously we want to get in here as soon as possible. But they're like, it's completely booked up. We can't get you until Monday. So then we spent like the weekend going like back and forth between the city and our new place, just like taking as much stuff as we could. But we paid for movers because I was like, this is gonna be such a pain in the ass move. And like my brother-in-law moved in with us. He lives in our basement, so like they picked up at our place, then went to his place, then they moved all of our stuff in the same time. It saved us like money wise. I just felt so bad that it was such a big job for these movers on like literally the hottest day. And so it was in the city, I believe it was 37 degrees, which is like 100. For anyone that's in the States, I think that's about 100. Yeah. And then out here in the suburbs, it was 42. Yeah, so that's like 107, 108 or something.
Close enough.
Fahrenheit. So it was, so like Steve worked with the movers. They got everything there. I hung back with Steve and his mom, and we just cleaned the entire apartment. Nice. Same thing, just to get it done same day. Because I was like, I'm not fucking driving back here again. Like, I'd been going back and forth between the city for like 5 days. I was like, I can't make that drive one more time. I'll literally poke my eyes out. So like in the heat, we had like 2 fans running. We're cleaning everything, and like my apartment was a hot box because it's all windows. And so we cleaned, and like honestly, it went really well. Although there was a point where like his mom hadn't gotten there yet, and like I love Fran, like she just knows how to clean. I don't. Like I'm a millennial. I'm still learning. Like I'd spent like 2.5 hours like cleaning the kitchen before she got there because it wasn't in the way of the movers. And then when she got there, she literally like redid everything that I did.
Oh, I love
like,
that.
As I was doing other things, she was just like trailing behind me redoing it, and I was like, what can I do so that you don't have to like do it again, because we're on like a time schedule here. Like the person's gonna be here at like 2:00 to like review everything. She's like, oh, okay. And like I felt bad, but I was like, we're not gonna get this place done if like we're just continually doing the same thing all the time. And so and in the end, it took us like an extra hour just because like it was so hot. Like we'd have to like sit just to like not pass out from the heat.
Oh my god, it was insane.
And like honestly, like we tried to go to like Shoppers to buy bottles of water for the movers. Sold out of everything except for like soda. And I was like, I feel like when it's that hot, like carbonated drinks are like not
you need water.
Yeah, couldn't find it anywhere. So we just like left our like Brita filter in the fridge and kept filling it up with like little solo cups for them. But what I found kind of interesting was like I put out cups for them, and I just put number 1, 2, 3 on it because like I didn't know their names. I'm like, here, this way you know which one's your cup. All 3 of them drinking out of the same cup just purely by accident. And I was like, I don't know what to say.
I hope you guys
anymore.
are really close.
I was like, okay.
Oh my gosh, were they wearing masks and stuff?
But then like, because technically the mandate for masks not being mandatory was July 1st, and we moved on June 28th. But then after a while, I was like, guys, like it's fine. Like when you're in the apartment, like I'm fine. I'm vaccinated. Like it's so hot. Like I was just willing to make any concession for them. But yeah, they were I could tell that like one guy was like an OG. He knew what he was doing. And the other 2 were like really new, which I was like, you know what? I don't know shit about moving. So like, I believe you guys. But so like they left. Once I got to the house, the timing worked out. I get here to pay for the services because I want to rack them points up on my credit card. And I could just tell like Steve was irritated, and I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, they've like banged up the walls, and he's like, I told them to just stop and put everything in the garage, and like we'll just move it inside. And I'm just like, paid a lot of money so we didn't have to do that. But I understand because once he like showed me, like there was like marks on the wall, which are like easy, but then in like a corner wall, they like bent it. Like they bent a portion of the wall.
Did you tell the
like,
company?
Yeah. So like in the moment, they gave us like in the moment, the company gave us $100 off, and I was like, okay. Cool. Yeah. Because I hadn't seen any of it. I was just like, okay, because like Steve had already like discussed it with them, so I just paid. And then after the fact, I realized what they had done, and they also broke Jeff's like TV unit. Like he had to go buy a whole new TV unit. So then we ended up like emailing them, being like, hey, like this happened. We didn't realize it till after, so they gave us $250 back, which like we just gave to Jeff so he could get a new unit, and so we'll just like fix everything else. So all in all, like $350 off, which is nice. But
that's like frustrating because like they didn't even do their full job because they put it in the garage.
Exactly. And I think Steve was also irritated because every time he like especially with the TV unit, when he pointed it out, he was like, hey, like, you guys broke this. They'd be like, no, like, you did that. Because Steve was helping them move stuff. He wasn't just standing there directing. They'd be like, no, you did that. He's like, just own up to it. Like, it's fine if it broke, but it's like obviously on their end, their boss gets mad at them if they break stuff, so they just don't want to like own up to stuff like that. So again, at the end of the day, like, we've just chalked it up to, it was a shitty ass hot day. Like, even at this place, we didn't have our air conditioner set up yet,
right?
Because the air conditioner is actually Jeff's. He left it at his apartment because he had to go clean his apartment the next day. So yeah, and like, it was so hot, we had to sleep in the basement. Luckily, the basement was nice and cool because it's technically like half below ground. So we slept on the floor with Poppy, and like, I felt the worst for Poppy.
The animals are.
I had to give her 2 baths throughout the day, or like just 2 quick showers in cold water, which like I felt like an asshole about because she was probably like, what the fuck is going on? But I was like, you need to be wet just to like maintain a reasonable heat right now, because you can't just plop them in front of a fan and be like, sit here and cool down.
Totally.
You know, like they just want to move around. So that was the move. It was fucking hectic, and it was still hot for like 2 or 3 days after that. So I felt like I couldn't do anything. I was moving like mush.
Well, I know, it's funny because like, I don't remember, I think it was Texas that like went through that winter storm, and they like weren't prepared, and everyone was like making fun of them, but they're like, we're prepared for hot. It's kind of the same thing for us. Everyone's like, oh my god, like the heat's the same in Arizona and like LA, like we're fine. But I'm like, we're not prepared. Like, we don't have AC. Our houses are built to keep in heat.
Yeah, because we're cold here for most part.
So it's like we're all dying. Like, our friend Ariel had to put her cat in the fridge because she was like vomiting. She had heat stroke.
No way.
Our cats are outdoor cats, but we had to keep them inside because the pavement were too hot for their paws.
Yeah, I had to keep doing that as well. Like, every time we would take Poppy for a walk outside, the test is you put your hand on there, and if you can't hold it for at least 5 seconds, then it's too hot for their paws.
Yeah, I moved into my parents' place for 2 weeks because I'm blessed that they have a pool and air conditioning, so I'm like, I can't really complain during that heat wave. But I'm like, my apartment was unbearable because I have sun 24/7, which I love, but like, hot.
I messaged one of my friends who lives here in the suburbs, and her parents have like the most beautiful pool, and I was like, I'm gonna be blunt, I need to invite myself over. Like, I'm dying right now. I need to just be in a body of water. And she's like, it's too hot. Because, like, I think, like, they heat it a little bit.
Text me, man.
I didn't even think about it, man. I was just, like, not in the head. Like, for literally an entire week, I feel like I couldn't function because it was so hot out here.
I'm house sitting for my parents in August. You can come over. So fun. Party. But talking about furniture, I just want to talk. I don't know if you have. I feel like people, when I say, like, what is the worst thing you ever bought? Like, what's the biggest regret, or like a big purchase that you spent money on and you're just like, what? It's like the worst purchase. This was my makeup vanity, and it happened when I was moving out. It was like the worst purchase. So I don't know if you remember it, but it's like a light up vanity. You can touch the mirror. It has like 5 different whatever. It came with like a stool and like storage for my makeup. Like, it was beautiful. It was $420. And when I originally moved out into my old apartment, I'm like, I'm just gonna splurge. I've always wanted like a corner to like do my makeup and hair, and like, I think it's really cute. It disintegrated, and I'm not even kidding. Like, the wood itself, just like all the paint rubbed off. It was like down to the wood, and I've only had it for like 8 months. And so I was moving, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna email Wayfair to see if they can give me like at least a replacement, so I can have like it looks nice. Like, it looked horrible, but then in my head I'm like, I don't have room for it in my new place because, like, my place is only 500 square feet. So in my head, I was like, okay, I'm just going to, like, message Wayfair, see if they can give me a replacement top, so then I can sell it. And so I was talking to Wayfair. They're literally the best. I was like, I'm sorry, I've had this for maybe 8 to 11 months, and it's completely destroyed. Like, I don't do any, like, crazy thing on it. I just do my makeup, and it's, like, rubbed off completely. And they're just like, oh, absolutely. Like, we'll send you a replacement top, just the top part. And so a couple weeks go by, and I'm about to move in 2 days, and I don't have this stupid thing that I was going to sell. And so now I'm like, oh my god, it's going to come to the old apartment, whatever. It shows up, and it's a full vanity. They gave me a replacement one, like, not just the top. Like, they gave me a whole vanity.
Oh, shit.
So now I have a shitty vanity, and then I have, like, a new one in the box. And I'm like, how am I going to sell 2 of these? So I put this shitty one, or I actually ended up giving my old crappy one to the girl that was moving into my place because I was like, I'm not gonna be able to sell it. I can't sell it to anyone. It's like completely ruined. But if you want to like sand it, and she's like, oh, I'll take it. And then I literally only sold the new one in the box for $200.
And how much did you pay for it?
$420.
Yeah, people are like lowballing lately too.
And I like it was at my new place, just in my living room, at the point where I'm like, I would have taken it for $100. Like, I just wanted it out. Like, it was just the worst item I've ever bought, and I'm so pissed at myself.
Oh, because I guess you didn't sell the first one either.
No, like, I'm out $200, and I had 2 goddamn things that I needed to sell. Like, it was the worst.
Honestly, I've gotten to a point, though, where it's, like, time over money.
Yeah.
There was definitely a point in my life, like, I wasn't making enough money, so if I was gonna, like, sell something from, like, Aritzia, like, I'm gonna put the blood, sweat, and tears into getting the top dollar for it. Now... I'm like, take it to Value Village. I literally could not be bothered to deal with like 6 people being like, is this available? Is this available? And then they just like don't follow through on it.
I know. I have to sell a rug. I'm actually really lucky with Marketplace. Like I haven't sold one thing that I've listed. Like only one thing I literally can't speak. I don't know how to say this in a sentence, but I've sold everything except for one thing. It's Marketplace. I'm pretty lucky that way.
Well, furniture right now, just in general, like we upgraded from a queen size bed to a king size bed. I didn't do my research. Like I knew that the supply chain of everything is really backed up. I just didn't think like how backed up it was. So like I ordered our mattress from ND. Love an ND mattress. ND.
I have mine too.
Feel free to sponsor us.
Please, I want a new one just for fun.
And it literally came in a day. I'm not even exaggerating. I ordered it on a Friday afternoon. It showed up Saturday morning.
Amazing.
Like it was nuts. Like we literally showed up to our house because we weren't living here yet. I shipped it to the new place and it was at our door. And I was like, oh, okay, fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
But then our bed frame is not going to come till September. So like we literally just have the ND box like sitting in a spare bedroom. And I just stare at it and I'm like, oh, like what I would do to just sleep on a king size bed in this heat, like
to be so close to each other.
Yeah. So I'm just like, fuck. But I'm really excited about our bed frame. It was like, I was literally just budgeting to get like $500 bed frame from like StructTube or something. I'm not gonna lie, I splurged because I saved up money.
Nice.
I spent $2,000 on a bed frame.
Oh my god, please send me photos. Is it nice?
It's beautiful. It's from Rove Concepts, and I just I feel like such an adult buying something fancy like that. Like there's nothing wrong with StructTube because I'm still gonna get my nightstands from StructTube.
I love StructTube
because like all of these like websites, I feel like they're just not like cohesive. Like I feel like their shit doesn't match. So it's like I would have gotten like nice nightstands maybe to go with it, but couldn't find anything. But yeah, like September, it's nuts to me.
Interesting. Talking about splurging again, kind of regretting purchases. I bought yet another $400 piece of furniture.
What did you buy now?
Okay, so I bought Bouclair.
Yeah.
I have been getting ads on Facebook like they know I wanted a cabinet, you know? It was that black, I bought it like months ago now. A black woven thing that holds my record player.
Right.
Okay, I've been looking at this. It was like $400 and it was on Facebook ads for about 2 months before I was like, I haven't found the perfect thing. I'm just going to buy it, whatever. I got $100 off, so I only paid, it was like $400 with tax, like whatever. But then it gets here. I waited, I think, like 6 weeks for it to get here. It gets here. It took me 3 hours to put it together, only to realize, so I'm like putting it together, and it definitely needed 2 people. But I am a modern woman, and I live by myself, and I'm like, I'm not going to wait around, My friend Ariel was like, just wait till, a couple days I can come over. I'm like, absolutely not. I'm going to do this myself. And so I'm like lining everything up. I'm putting the doors on, and all of a sudden, fucking I hear a snap. And in IKEA, the wooden dowels, okay, that holds everything together.
Yeah.
Very similar, but they weren't exactly the IKEA ones. I put it in, and I left it standing there for 1 second to check on the other side, and it snapped and broke and fell. And I'm like, fuck me. And so I'm like, they didn't give me any extra wooden dowels, and I've completely snapped it in half, and I cannot put this thing together. I emailed Bouclair being like, it broke. I need a replacement. Like, please, can you ASAP? Please, someone respond to me. They don't respond to me. I mean, like, spoiler, they didn't respond to me for 3 weeks.
Wow.
So I'm like, I am a problem solver. I'm going to go to IKEA and get wooden towels. And they weren't the same. Like, the ones from Bouclair are, like, really long and skinny, but the ones from IKEA are, like, short and fat. And it was just a nightmare. I go to IKEA and I lie and say that I had the calyx drawers and I snapped the wooden thing and whatever. And
But they sell them, though.
No, you have to order them online, and, like, they don't sell them in store.
Am I not thinking of the right thing? I'm thinking of those little, like, wooden pegs.
Yeah, wooden pegs.
You can't just...
No.
I swear there's, like, a section in their returns
There
pile.
is. Okay, so pre-COVID, you could go and for your own sake, you can go and pick out. You don't have to talk to anyone. Now, for COVID, you have to go to someone and give the product ID. So I went online and found a product ID for a wooden dowel, and he was like, oh, you broke the calyx. I'm like, yeah, I broke the calyx, whatever. And he brings the dowels. They're not the same, but I couldn't say that they're not because whatever. Yeah. So I just, like, took them home. I ended up cutting them in half, super gluing them, like, whatever. It literally took me 3 days, which would have been the wait time for my friend to come over and help me, by the way, to put this together. And I, like, literally hate it. Like, I love it, but every time I look at it, I'm like, you are not worth it.
So what did Bouclair say, though?
Nothing. They're just like, oh, sorry. When they responded to me, they're just like, oh, please send me the product ID, which I did in my freaking first email, and I didn't even respond to them. Like, they didn't deserve my response to tell them that I'm okay. And they never followed up or anything. Like, so rude.
We just want the world to go back to normal. We just want to travel like normal. Because I'm, like, petrified. Like, whenever we do travel, what do you think the airport's going to look like?
I'm so
Absolute
worried.
Fucking chaos. I'm going to get there 6 hours early. I'm going to be like a suburban dad.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to stand there. Like, I don't care how early it is.
I'm so nervous. By the time, like, our episodes go up, I'll be in Toronto. But, like, I'm nervous to go to the airport.
Oh, okay. You're definitely going to have to tell us the story. Because I'm not traveling till, like, September. So you're traveling first.
Yeah, I'm traveling first. I'm really nervous to go into a wedding that I only know 3 people. Like, it's complete. This is a complete pre-COVID event. And I'm nervous. But I'm excited because I'm, like, fully vaccinated. I'm relying on science.
Vaxxed, wax, relax.
I'm so excited.
You ready to get fucked up?
Hell yeah. I have picked up some hobbies this year.
Really?
You know, I think I've told people I've been on the journey to find hobbies because, like, I literally do nothing. Like, if it's not, like, I'm too obsessed with, like, electronics. Like, if I'm not watching TV, I'm on my phone or whatever. Like, I'm just not doing things. So I'm like, this is the year that I find hobbies. I'm now a tennis player, so very exciting.
That's actually funny because I'm going to try and get into tennis too.
Please get into it. We can play. Okay, so I suck, but I bought a cute little outfit on Fabletics with, like, a tennis skirt and, like, a top. Like, you gotta fit the thing. And it's so fun. Like, me and my friend Amanda and Charlotte, like, we all live in the same neighborhood, and so we have a tennis court 5-minute walk away from each other. So we go, like, every Monday or sometimes, like, on Wednesdays. It's really fun. I highly recommend it because, like, we're not good, but we just, like, have fun, you know? We just hit the ball around.
That sounds fun. Okay.
So fun.
I need to first get a tennis outfit together.
Yeah, Fabletics.
Run to Aritzia, get the little tennis. Okay, Fabletics.
So good.
Okay. Sponsor us.
Sponsor us, please. I love you.
And then I'll give tennis a shot. Actually, the other day I was driving because Steve, now that we're in the suburbs, he's like, I need to go play basketball. And I'm like, I've never in our entire relationship heard you say, I'm going to go to the basketball court and play basketball. More power to you. But we don't have any of these stuff. So he goes to his parents' place. We're going through like kind of like in a classic teenage movie where they have the balls in, like, that net.
Yeah.
Like that giant net. Just filled with balls. I don't know how they've built up such a collection. But, like, he takes 2 basketballs and he takes, like, the tennis rackets and the balls as well. And he left them in our trunk. And I went for a drive yesterday into the city, and they're just, like, fucking rolling around, like, the entire time in the back. And I was like, duh, fucking suburban shit.
That is so funny. Do you have a court near you? Tennis and basketball?
That's a good question.
Oh, so he hasn't checked out yet. So he just got the supply. He hasn't done it yet.
No, there definitely is a big one, like, in the city center, but I don't know, like, any of the smaller ones around here.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Another hobby, okay? I'm a reader. Get ready.
Like,
I read books now.
For some reason, I thought you were going to say, like, tarot card reader, and I was like, what the fuck?
No. I just read books now, you know?
I listen to books.
Oh, that's exciting.
Audible. Yeah.
I like podcasts for listening to things. Like, when I read a book, I want to be, like, invested in the world. And I'm, like, a seasonal reader. I can't be the only one. Like, summer is the only time I read books, or, like, if I'm on a vacation.
I'm personally not seasonal. I'm very much like if there's just like a really good book.
Okay,
like, did you watch Arthur growing up?
Yes, I did.
Okay, do you remember that episode where like Baxter, like the bunny?
Okay,
it's
yeah.
Baxter, right?
It is, but I don't remember any episodes, so.
Okay, so like he basically needs to do a book report.
Okay.
And he can't finish a book to like save his life. So everyone, like all of his friends are like, read this book, and they're giving him just like the easiest like fucking ABC books just so he can do this report.
Okay.
And then in the end he ends up reading like the longest, most difficult novel just because he's purely interested in it. All the other ones he didn't care about. So he only read this one because he actually cared for the story. So that's what I consider myself to be.
Oh, that's fun. So I want to give some book recommendations.
Okay, please do.
First of all, you need to read Malibu Rising. It's coming into a limited series. I just found out after I read it. It's really good. It's about like 4 siblings in the 1980s. This is not a spoiler. You find out page 1 that there's a house fire, and the book is like who done it, and then it flashbacks to 1950 to their parents' love life. Like it's very very good.
Okay, I actually need a new book to listen to. It's really good.
And then for you podcast listeners out there, you need to read The X Talk. It is the best, like, romance. It's like fluffy romantic book, but it's about like these 2 people that work at a radio station that start a podcast called The X Talk, and they pretend to be exes, and like it's so good.
Okay, my recommendation is the Crazy Rich Asians trilogy.
Oh, nice.
And even if you've watched the movie, you need to read the first book because it's obviously, books are always different from the movie.
Way better. Have more information.
And like if you're going to read the rest of them, like you need to know the details from the first one for the details to like make sense essentially.
Okay.
But like I was a really big reader when I was younger, but then I stopped. But then once the movie came out, I was like, I fucking love this storyline. I need to know what happens next. So then I read all of them, like literally probably within the span of a month, and they're like good, like 300-400 pages each. If I do say so myself.
Oh, nice, challenging.
Yes.
Okay, last book. Sorry, the Luckiest Girl Alive. Please read it. It's like this girl who's 30, she's in her 30s and she's in New York, and something happened to her in high school that has changed her life, and she's changed her name, like something really bad happened, and she's finally filming a documentary about it. And so it's like about her filming the documentary, and you find out what happens, and it's really darn good. Highly recommend.
Well, good to know for the future stuff now that we've listed like our Oprah's top.
We're just so intelligent, you know? We just like
I think that's everything on my end.
That's it on
Apology
me.
of the week. I mean, I guess we already did apology in the beginning.
Yeah, just like a real big fat sorry for being
A big fat
absent.
sorry to all of you for taking so long to get on our shit. And a big fat sorry to Toni Rose for having to drag my ass.
Thank you so much. It's totally fine. And worth the wait, guys. This is better, you know?
Yeah, honestly, like we're getting our shit together. We're a year and a half older since we started.
Oh my god, yeah.
I can't believe it's
Totally been a year and a half. It feels like 3. Like when I said 3, it felt like...
Well, maybe it's like a
No.
year and 3/4.
Yeah, no, it'll be 2
August,
years in
September,
October.
Yeah, I think that's what
So
makes a
2
little bit more
years.
sense.
So
A year and 3/4.
Like, come on. We're at 2 years. We thought of the idea 2 years ago. It was August.
Okay, that's true.
When I
It
got
took
back
us a
from
while
my
to get
trip.
rolling.
It took us a really long time because we're like, are we actually doing this?
Honestly, if you think about it, at the end of the day, the reason why we thought of the podcast, though, was because of TikTok. Like, not because we saw TikTok, but because that day that I introduced you to TikTok, I was like, you have to watch this. And we were just so fucking annoying that's like, I'm pretty sure it
We
was
had such
either that
commentary,
day
yeah.
or the day after that we were like, oh my God, we're so fucking annoying. We should just do a podcast.
Also, like, funny.
Yeah. I hate to, like, give TikTok that credit because it takes
I
credit
know.
for, like, everything else in the world right now, but...
It sparked the idea, but we are the reason why we're successful, so.
So successful.
Okay, cool. Well, oh my gosh, I don't remember how we do the outro. Follow us.
Follow us on Instagram. We're going to try and revamp that shit.
We Apologize Podcast.
And our personal accounts. Mine is now Alex French.
Oh, yeah?
Alex_French. 2 X's, 2 H's.
So confusing. Mine is Toni Rose Goulden, Toni with an I. You can guess the spelling for the rest.
Okay. Well, then I guess that's it. We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next Monday.
Bye.